Hey guys, welcome to the Quilling Solutions Show right here on Holy Culture Radio. And let me tell you, I'm a fan of two things, right? Community and events, and using events to get out into the community. And today I've got a special guest. We're going to talk about what they're doing. Jennifer Jackson is the president and chief operating officer at the Stellar Gospel Music Awards. And they're based in Chicago. And Jennifer's going to share with us some exciting things. If you didn't know, you need to know. Let me tell you right now, go to stellarsAwards.com because it's the 40th year anniversary and you don't want to miss it. Jennifer, welcome to Holy Culture Radio.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a pleasure. So in a 40th year, well, let me go back a ways.
Mhm.
Talk about what inspired the creation of the Stellar Awards.
Well, from all of the stories that I've heard from our founder, Don Jackson, he talked about, I think he went to a GMWA event back in the day with his pastor,
Mm,
and who was invited. And he tells a story about how she was sitting on the main floor towards the front, and he had to sit all the way up in the balcony.
mm,
And he was just hearing all of this incredible music that just really just touched his heart.
mm.
And that was the birth of the ideal, or something that led to the ideal
Yeah,
of doing an award show for gospel music.
that's great. I mean, to think 40 years of anything
Hmm.
is particularly in today's environment, right? And you think about all the things that has transpired in the pandemic and any other black swan moment. To be in business 40 years is to be commended. So first of all, thank you and the team there for keeping it going. As you head into this year's 40th anniversary, what are you most excited about?
Looking back at the 4 decades,
Mm,
and so going back in time and looking at how we got here,
mm,
today, but then at the same time, recognizing those who are contributing to gospel music today. And so
right.
it's going to be a real balance about, how do we fit this content in
Mm,
an hour and say 42, 43 minutes.
that
It's
is
going to
so
be,
hard.
at that, it's not easy. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that the specificity, an hour and 42 minutes, right? You were like walking around with that tattooed on your brain. I have an hour and 42 minutes. How do I make it all work? And when you think about, to me, how the gospel, Stellar Awards have helped shape gospel music, if I can
Hmm.
use that term, everything from, I grew up in a family where my dad listened to like James Cleveland and
Yeah.
the Hawkins
Yeah.
singers
Yeah.
and, commissioned right
Yeah.
before Fred
Yeah.
Hammond and then went
Yeah.
off into groups. And now, up to people like Pastor Mike Jr., there's
Mhm.
such breadth. How
Yes.
do you think about even curating that hour and 42 minutes?
I think you want to think about, balancing that. You have to look at a number of different factors. One, the music, does it touch you? Will it
Mm,
touch other people? What are people listening to?
hmm.
So, looking at what are people listening to on radio? What are people requesting on radio?
Yeah.
What are people streaming? What are people buying?
Right.
And it's really kind of interesting because it's not entirely the same. What some people are streaming isn't necessarily what people are requesting on radio.
Yes.
So you have a multitude of audiences,
Yep.
and so the balancing act um, with the different genres and the different audiences we have, and how do we make it work across the
Yes.
board,
Yeah.
without, trying to offend anyone, but then
Yeah.
what feels good.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
That's right. So, as you think about this 40th year, one of the things I appreciate about the Stellar Awards is the not only the breadth we talked about over the decades, but the let's call it the subgenres and
Mhm.
styles and such, right? So whether it's traditional gospel or quartet or the Ricky Dillards, the choir master, whether it's the Ty Trippids and that more the newer sound, so to speak, a street sound, whether it's Christian hip hop. How are you thinking about how all those things come together in that hour and 42 minutes?
Again, I think it's about what feels good.
Yeah.
Uh, and you do want to try and cover, as many genres as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But still taking into account what it's going to look like on screen. And
Yeah.
so, you don't want, everything to be a ballad, right?
Right. Right.
Because then it would be kind of boring. It might feel good, but you don't want everything to be a ballad.
Right.
But so you want to mix it up with things that will have you on your feet, things that people can clap to,
Yes.
or dance to, and so you want that variety to to keep people engaged throughout the
Absolutely. So, Jennifer, one of the things I've come to appreciate about the Stellar Awards is the Stellar Plus experience and getting there for things such as the basketball game and the breakout sessions and there's such good learning. Last year, one of the treats for me was the Afrobeat and Christian hip hop event that occurred one afternoon. What can people expect this year from the Stellar Plus experience?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So this year, our Stellar Plus experience will start on Thursday, August the 14th,
Hmm.
and go through Friday the 15th. And during that time, we'll have a couple of master classes with an opportunity for people to come in to learn about um, specific things on how to improve your craft in gospel music,
Mm,
or it could be learning something legal things, or music licensing, across the board. And so it's a way for people, essentially, it's to learn.
yes.
Um, and then in addition to that, we'll also have our Unplugged concert on Thursday evening, where it's a platform to give
Hmm.
other artists, an opportunity to perform during the Stellar weekend. And then in addition to that, we are again going to have our Game Changers fashion experience again
Mm,
on Friday, as well as our Stellar Talks fireside chat as well on that Friday, and also a comedy show. And most of these events are going to take place at our host hotel, the Sheraton Grand
nice.
Hotel, which
Nice.
is our host hotel, which is where our call-in block is as well. And so, just making it real easy for people. You check in, go to the events. It's right downtown, and so it's walkable for everyone.
That's
And
great.
so, yeah, so we're really looking forward to people coming out to, and especially the public is, of course, is invited to
Yes.
all of those things.
Yes. So one of the things that I want our listeners to know, our listeners are largely Christian hip hop listeners,
Uh-huh.
is one, there are a lot of nominees within the rap hip hop category and the praise and worship category, of course, but the rap hip hop category, guys, I want to let you know is deep. Jennifer, what else should people who are really, really strong listener supporters of Christian hip hop be looking forward to?
They should look forward to um, coming together, and just meeting other people who are members of SACMA,
Mm,
to get a chance to, it's really good for them to just kind of integrate and to shake hands and to have conversations and just to talk about what they're doing, musically, professionally, and just to integrate themselves into that community and to be a part of that community
hmm.
and to have a voice within that community as well. I think that's really important. I often joke about, not joke, but I always find it really fascinating that the craft of people who are in Christian hip hop and the lyrics that they write. And I think that it's funny, they come off all strong and cool. And I'm like, those guys they're all nerds, you know, because I mean, they really are when you just take everything, just, put them in
Yeah.
regular clothes. But, these guys are writers, right?
Yes. Yes.
And they are brilliant and smart writers. And
Yes.
so they come off, they have to dress a certain way to look real cool, but I'm like, they're just, I
Right.
think nerds are great. So I'm saying that in a very positive way.
Yes.
And so instead of looking at them as like kind of like a gangster kind of way, I'm like, no, these are really good, solid, and
Yes.
brilliant and smart people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let
And,
me ask
and
you.
they should share that crap. I think they really should just, share that part of their life experience so
Yep.
that people can see, that side of them and not be proud of that part of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. One of the things, Jennifer, I think many of us appreciated in the Christian hip hop ecosystem was how much it was embraced a few years ago, right? I think 2 years ago, we saw performances from Anike and Aaron Cole, and if I
Mhm.
remember correctly, Erica Mason,
Yep.
and it felt so strong. And then last year, not as many performances, but the addition of the Afro beats and Christian hip hop
Mhm.
piece. This year it feels a little pulled back. Was that just out of a space thing or a content thing? What's driving that?
I think a couple of things are driving it. I think people coming out to support. So with the Afro beats, it was that the turnout wasn't that good, and
Mm,
so getting people to come out and to support that particular community just
hmm.
did not come out to support
Got it.
that particular event. And so that's one thing. And then the other thing is, well, you know how I talked about it's a balancing act
Yes,
with the music. I remember how sad I was that one year, we got beat up pretty bad on social
you
media.
sure did. You sure
We got
did.
beat up really bad. And I remember Aaron Cole, he posted a sad face,
Mm,
in
mm.
response to that. He didn't say any words, it was just a sad face. And it
Yeah,
just made me so sad.
yeah.
And unfortunately, in this current business model of music, and also in television in particular,
Hmm.
our show is on broadcast TV and cable, which skews older,
Right.
right? Streaming skews younger, right? And so you have these vast differences
Mm,
between the audiences that you're appealing to. And so it's a balancing act on how can we incorporate it, um, and and for people to feel really good about that,
yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's really helpful because for me, what I'm taking away is one, guys, we it's on us to show the demand and demonstrate the demand and show up for things like that when they happen. And that also means we may have to get creative on making the demand for next year and helping Jennifer and the team feel like that's going to be a sold out event. So that's one. But two, not too dissimilar from us and us thinking about audience demographics of who listens to our SiriusXM channel versus our streaming radio app. They are definitely distinctly different. The person who pays for radio for SiriusXM is a different customer, our P1s and P2s versus those who listen via our mobile app. And so I'm appreciative of you explaining that. And guys, again, that's just something for us to think about and making it not just accessible, but approachable and appetizing for various audiences. So we
Yeah, I
some
mean,
work for us to do.
matter of fact, Don, one of his dreams is to do a show that's focused on hip hop.
Oh,
Um,
let's listen.
yeah,
Say
yeah,
no more.
yeah. And so it's just getting the funding, to be
Yeah.
able to do that. But again, what we do know is that that won't work probably on broadcast TV because
Mm,
it's an older population, older demo,
yeah.
and so you would have to figure out how it can work on streaming platform,
Gotcha.
because that's where that particular demographic that's going to watch, that's where they're at.
Yeah.
And so it's trying to figure out the science behind that,
Mm, mm,
and where can you place it so that it can be seen
yeah.
by the people who want to see it.
Yeah. Well, and here's my challenge to us, to you, to myself, and all of us. I think sometimes we may shortchange the old demographic because of the way we go after the information and understanding them. I think that sometimes we can miss the fact that a lot of them, even after church on Sunday, challenge them on what they listen to when they get into their car. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of them know the names of the secular rappers just like I do, and
Yep.
just like us
Yeah,
in CHH
absolutely.
programming. And so they're into, in many cases, the tune, the feel. My mom is, in her 70s. She knows the name of some of them people. And, I look at other people and, to me, hip hop has become a pervasive culture and sound. Any TV break, any restaurant, you name it. There is a aura of hip
Mhm.
hop's impact. And so I would just encourage us to like pull on that thread of the sweater a little bit to get closer to that population and what they're really listening to sonically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you for having that honest conversation. I'm excited about the Stellar Awards. It's coming up quick. We only have a few
Yes,
months.
yes.
What do you want people to know and do right now?
Few things. One, want them to go to stellarawards.com to get all of the information that they can. They can purchase tickets by going to the website. We're going to be at the Shimmerhorn in Nashville, Tennessee on August the 16th. Um, our nominee event, our big nominee reception is that Friday night for all of our nominees. And we're looking forward to seeing everyone in every single category. And then you can go to the Stellar Plus Experience website, where they have a list of all of the events that are going to take place on that Thursday and Friday. And
Mm,
then I would just encourage your listeners to write us. What would you like to see? Would you
mm.
like a specific master class? What would you like to learn? How can we find a way to be more inclusive? And will you show up? That's the
Yes.
big thing. Will you show up?
Yeah,
If you'll show up, then we'll make it happen. That's
that's
the big
great.
thing. Yeah.
That is great. Well,
Oh, and then
guys, you
one more thing, I do want to
please.
let you know that we do have our host for the show this year, and our hosts are going to be CeCe and BeBe Winans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
special treat.
Wow. What, how apropos for 40th anniversary. Wow.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Wow. They have to do a song or two together, right?
Oh, we'll see.
Come on. Bridge over troubled waters. They got to do Bridge over troubled waters. Come on now. They got to do something. Okay. Invite Marvin out,
I know.
the
I
living
know.
Winans. Oh, come on now.
Living legend.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's gonna be so good. Well, Jennifer, thank you. Folks, you heard it right here from Jennifer Jackson, President and CEO of the Stellar Awards and Central City Productions. Don't miss it. Go to stellarawards.com right now. Find all the information. Get your tickets for the main show and the Stellar Plus experience. And don't delay. Jennifer, thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thanks so much.